I've been riding the bus in Korea since my very first day in the country, and believe me when I say I've gotten lost more times than I can count. Figuring out how to ride the bus when you don't know the schedule or where to catch it, or when you can't speak Korean can be a nightmare, and it's worse when you're going somewhere for the first time. But I learned how to ride the bus the hard way, so hopefully with a few of these tips, by the end of this video you'll be a bus riding professional. So let's cover everything you need to know about riding the bus, from finding your stop, checking the schedule, and successfully reaching your destination. The first thing you need to do is get a transportation card. Now, yes, you can use cash to ride the bus, but it can be extremely inconvenient to deal with a handful of coins when there's a long line of people behind you, or a bus that starts moving as soon as you get on. These days you can buy transportation cards everywhere, from convenience stores to subway stations. I recommend getting a transportation card at a major subway station, because you can do all of it through a machine. Also, while we're in the subway, let's get familiar with what a charging machine looks like. To charge your card, simply place it in the machine. Choose how much you want to charge. Put in your money, wait a second for it to finish, take your card, and you're done. The next thing we're going to need is to download a bus app. I use the app Kakao Map, but there are plenty of apps out there depending on your preferred interface. And the first thing you want to do is input your final destination. Right now, you don't need to memorize anything or pay much attention, except to your very first waypoint, the bus stop. And the easiest way to get to your bus stop is to simply follow the map that your app will show you. Just try not to run into anyone or walk out into traffic while you're following the GPS. I've done those before, and it's not pleasant. Once you reach your bus stop, look around. Bus stops often service multiple routes, so double check that you're standing at the right place. For example, here are two different bus stops right next to each other. Once you're at the right bus stop, relax and take a deep breath. Oh, who am I kidding? It's time to panic. When's the bus coming? Where will it stop? Will there be any seats left? Okay, I was kidding. Let's answer all of those questions now. First, where will the bus stop? At larger bus stops, such as in popular locations, you'll actually want to look down at the ground near the curb. If there's nobody waiting, great, you get to be first. But usually there will be a small line of people waiting for the same bus, so go stand behind them. Next, when's the bus coming? Modern bus stops will have monitors showing all of the buses and their arrival times. Some things to pay attention to are the bus number and the word 분, which means minute. Also, there's often a section of the monitor called 곧 도착, which means arriving soon. So if you see your bus number there, it means your bus has almost arrived. Some older bus stops might not have a fancy monitor, but there will always be a sign posted at the stop with information. Sometimes I actually prefer this because you get to see the entire route. Also, typically when a bus is about to arrive, you'll hear a voice announcing it at the stop. Keep in mind that due to traffic, the bus can occasionally arrive a bit earlier or later than what the app shows. So I like to plan to arrive at least a couple of minutes in advance, just to be safe. And finally, will there be any seats left? Well, there are two ways to check if it's not in the app. First, look on the monitor next to the bus number, and you might see a number followed by 석, which means seat. Or the front of some buses will also have a monitor that lists the number of open seats right before you get on. That leads me to the next step, actually getting on the bus. Because this has happened to me more than I'd like to admit. Now, you don't have to worry about this sort of thing at a major bus stop. The buses will stop there. But when you're sitting at the bus stop in a new location, don't get too cozy. Because if there's nobody on the bus already who's getting off where you are, and if it's not clear to the bus driver that you're waiting to get on, the driver might just keep going. So let's let my friend Randy explain what you should do.
You have to just make your hand gesture. Oh, 여기, I'm here. Stop here, stop.
So again, stand up, hold out your hand, so it's clear that you're waiting to get on. Okay, so you've located the bus stop and you've got on the right bus. Now most of your job is done. But there are a few things about riding the bus in Korea that we haven't talked about. When you first step on, scan your transportation card and find a seat if you can. Avoid the elderly and pregnant women's seats, which are toward the front of the bus. unless you're elderly or pregnant, in which case feel free to take these seats. Now, if there aren't any seats on the bus, don't try to bus surf. So grab onto one of those straps above your head, or grab onto one of the seats. Just grab something so you don't fall over. Okay, look at us. We are on the bus. A few things to keep in mind. First, don't eat any snacks or make phone calls while on the bus. So I recommend just using your phone or listening to music with headphones or studying some Korean with my book series, Korean Made Simple. Okay, that's enough product placement for one video. When your stop is next, just press any of the red buttons around the bus to signal that you want to get off. So your focus now should be on keeping track of where you are on the route. And the way to do that is usually straightforward. Check the monitor on the bus, and it'll usually show the upcoming stop. That is, unless it's only playing advertisements, in which case it's useless. But sometimes you can still find the next stop in the bottom corner, so just double check. Or even better, check the card scanning machines near the bus exit. Those will also usually show the upcoming stop. Speaking of the card scanning machines, make sure you scan your card again right before you exit the bus. Again, scan your card once when you get on the bus and again when you get off. If you forget to scan your card when you exit, your card will be charged extra because the bus won't know where you actually got off. Wait, that's it? Yep, that's it. Congratulations! You've successfully taken the bus, and now you can travel anywhere you can imagine in Korea. Well, except for places that are only accessible by boat, or hiking, or private taxi, but you get the idea. If this video was helpful, press the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, and extra thanks to all of my Patreon and YouTube supporters. You know who you are. 그럼 다음에 또 봐!